Hey, welcome back to the Ping Pong Flick Show. My name is Chris Wong. Let's start off with the box office weekend totals. These are just estimates, by the way. We'll get the real numbers tomorrow, although it's Martin Luther King, so I don't know how that affects it because it's, I guess, considered a 3-day weekend. I still got to work, but my kids are out. So anyway, number one is Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle, with only a negative 27% change from last week. Incredible. Actually gained of like 48 theaters. That's amazing. At $27 million weekend gross, it is over $666 million worldwide. That is simply amazing. I can't believe that it has that much legs, and I can't believe I didn't get to watch it yet, although I'm happy that it's still in theaters, so I still have better chances of watching it soon, hopefully when I get the time. But coming in second is The Post. Third, The Commuter, which is that Liam Neeson film. Insidious: The Last Key comes in number 4. The Greatest Showman is number 5. And Star Wars: Last Jedi is now in number 6, negative 52% in from the weekend from before, losing about 1,100 theaters. So that has kind of pretty much went to a standstill by now, even though it's still making millions. So, but it already reached the $1 billion mark. It already reached $1.2 billion in worldwide ticket sales. It is the number 1 movie in 2017, beating The Beauty and the Beast. It's a lot of different records. I mean, 10th all-time worldwide record. It's number 6 all-time world domestic. But it is pretty much simply still about almost half of what Force Awakens did. And so from a sequel standpoint, that is a tremendous upset, a little bit. So, but it's still $1 billion, so everybody's going to argue about that, and let them have it. Let them have their $1 billion argument about that. It did drop about 90-something% of theaters in China. I think it was like 92%. It also, the ticket sales were like 91% drop from last week in China alone, so it's not doing well in China. I mean, China is like a lost lead at this point. So that's that for Star Wars: The Last Jedi. And a lot of people are arguing, well, it's still $1 billion and stuff, but I don't know. I mean, if the third movie in the trilogy comes out, third movie, meaning Episode 9, comes out, and it does half of Star Wars: Last Jedi, then that's a very bad trajectory. If it goes up from Star Wars: Last Jedi, then yeah, then we'll have something to say about that, because the argument was The Force Awakens was nostalgia, blah blah blah, it's not going to do as much as that's everything, blah blah blah. But that much of a drop from the first movie, it's got to be some kind of upset for Disney right now, although they're swimming in money. But it's got to be something to worry about for the future, for the next one after. If Episode 9 is like half, I don't think it will, but if it drops further from The Last Jedi's worldwide box office numbers, then what can you expect from Rian Johnson's new trilogy after that? You want to go up, like I always said, in business sense, we want every annual sales to go higher than the year before, not lower. And that means you got to do something. You got to do something to bring it back up. So that's what I'm saying. Solo, I don't know how much that's gonna make. It's probably gonna be like Rogue One numbers. So that'd be okay for that, because it's not part of the trilogy. I don't think it's like before. It's all prequel stuff. So let's see what happens with Solo and see if anybody even cares for that. I'm sure there's a lot of people who do. I'm not one of them in particular. I am interested. I'll see it because it is Star Wars, and because I've never actually seen or even know what the Kessel Run is. I don't know what the life debt between Han Solo and Chewie is, so it'll be kind of cool to see that on screen and maybe see how he got the Millennium Falcon and things like that. Although we didn't really need to see it, but since it's coming out, sure, why not? But that's it for the box office weekend. Now, on to interesting and probably the biggest DC Extended Universe news that we got today is that it has been confirmed, and we already kind of knew this already, that Mark Strong was to star in Shazam, and he is going to play Doctor Sivana. And so this is actually confirmation from Mark Strong himself. He actually openly talked about this. And speaking with a Celebratainment in London, this is what he had to say. So Mark Strong says, "I'm playing an evil bastard called Doctor Sivana. They are always the best characters to play, the most fun. I was Sinestro in Green Lantern, which I thought was a rather good film, but it didn't do what they wanted, so I feel like I've got unfinished business in the DC world. Thanks for not defecting. I played a pretty evil character in that, and he was meant to go even worse in the second one, but that never happened. But I think I'm going to get the chance to do that Shazam. I hope so." And that's cool, because I really thought he was like the comic perfect Sinestro, a live action comic perfect version of Sinestro, and I really wanted to see that evil Sinestro, but you know, that never happened. And I didn't hate the film. Actually, I didn't hate Green Lantern. I didn't like it as much as other DC films, but it was an enjoyable movie to go through. I mean, it all fell out for that villain, and it all fell out because of the smoke monster. I hate smoke monsters. And so, but for the most part, it was quite enjoyable, although at the end I wish all the Lanterns show up to fight instead of just, you know, Hal Jordan. That would have been something. So Mark Strong continued to talk about the upcoming film. He said that it's a funny film. It's about a young boy who can become a superhero but still remains a young boy. So there's elements of Big, there's elements of Stranger Things. I think originally the comic outsold Superman in the 1940s. So some shade there, some shade there. Superman's still my best character. The star also been spending quite some time at the gym to prepare for the role, which is interesting. I've been training like a madman. I'm about to go over and see the stunt guys. I've been trying all these harnesses on, and I think I'm going to be doing lots of flying around and firing electricity out of my hands, Sith style. So that's interesting in itself that he said that, using force powers and whatnot. Dr. Sivana, I'm not really familiar with Shazam at all, so I kind of looked it up, I kind of researched, I talked to a few people about it. So if anything, a lot of people are now more familiar with the New 52 Doctor Sivana, so I read up on that. And the interesting part is that the pictures that you showed Doctor Sivana, it looks like a little, you know, a little evil mad scientist looking, so I don't see any point of actually working out for that kind of role. You're more like, you know, don't eat and watch TV on a couch, you know, that's training. But this is something else different, and according to New 52, he gets his powers when he turns to magic. He finds the tomb of Black Adam. So that's interesting that there is a mention of a tomb of Black Adam. Now, for all you fans who know more about this, comment down below. Let me know how it actually really goes, or how do you think which version of Dr. Sivana they're going to do. But when I hear the Tomb of Black Adam, and I'm thinking Suicide Squad 2, there's a connection there between that and Suicide Squad 2. Because Suicide Squad 2, it's known that Suicide Squad is going to have to find the tomb of Black Adam, right? The weapon of mass destruction, which is Black Adam. So I'm wondering how it connects to that. Are they going to pull that into the Shazam movie? Is that how he gets his powers? And then they confiscate that tomb, and it leads into Suicide Squad 2, which is very interesting, because in this way they have a little bit of connection. Maybe the almighty overarching bad is The Rock as Black Adam, and Superman will have to show up towards another Justice League version, because he'll go into Justice League with Legion of Doom with Black Adam as the big bad. Oh my god, the way I'm more talking about this, and the way I'm getting more excited to see that I think there is some sort of plan here. There's some sort of plan here. I mean, I'm just think about it. Black Manta and Aquaman. Then Shazam gets into hinting at Black Adam, and then Wonder Woman has Cheetah maybe. and they all go turn into the Legion of Doom, and Black Adam comes out, and oh my god, yes, if this is the route they're taking, which is a very interesting route, and that way they can save Darkseid for a larger role later on. And even thinking about the whole thing entirely, I think I might have to make a whole new video about this. But in DC in general, this is very, very interesting. Because if it goes on further than that, and I'm going further than Mark Strong, Doctor Sivana here, is that if they go Legion of Doom, then they can set up Darkseid later on, then they can work in Brainiac, they can pace themselves in a way. And maybe the reasons why they're cutting out some origins from that Justice League, because they want to set it up slow. They're going back to the basics of setting up solo films, like Cyborg. When I mentioned yesterday that they're doing the solo Cyborg with more of the origin film, that's what they're saving it for. Maybe they thought that the Zack Snyder Justice League was getting too quickly into the origin, too quickly into Darkseid. There's like, well, we won't have a real big bad unless it's Brainiac, but let's save Darkseid for later on. Now I can kind of see what they're trying to do. And if this is what they're trying to do, then good for them. Good for them. I think they're pacing themselves in a way, if this is true, that makes it the ending Justice League movies much more impactful, much more world ending, you know. Even though, you know, Legion of Doom could probably end the world, but I could see Legion of Doom being more ground-based combat. Not, I don't mean in a sense like that, but like not space and interstellar-y, you know. It's not, they're not going to do the Infinity War of DC Universe. We're back to the beginning basic stages of again, and they turned it around in Justice League by taking it back to the basic stages again. And then we'll work it, once it does good, it'll work it back into the galactic, the climactic, the incredible, the apocalyptic version of Justice League, the overarching, the world-ending version of Justice League. And like, that's amazing. Now, the way I'm thinking about it now, this is amazing, and how they were able to turn that movie into more of, this is the origin, this is the big bang of this universe once again, where we're the Justice League, the one that came out this past year, that's the big bang, that's the boom. Now the universe is open. Now let's get back into who these guys are, let's start over. This is the start over. And if that is the case, and that's a smart move. And that's a smart move. That is interesting. I mean, I don't know how you guys feel about that, but I am actually kind of pretty getting excited about that. Man, wow, woo, that's awesome. But anyway, all right. There'll be more on that later as I think about it a lot more. But yeah, Mark Strong. Great actor. I love seeing him in all different roles, from his role in Kick-Ass and Kingsman, you know, and it's just the way he acts is totally different each role. You almost don't remember that's Mark Strong sometimes. But anyway, the next movie is a small movie that I am excited for this year, and maybe not many people are. I'm excited because I read the Steve Alten's novels of the Megalodon, man. A giant shark movie. I love shark movies. Yes, I do. I did love The Shallows. I actually quite enjoyed 47 Meters Down because it has a shark in it. Although the ending kind of sucked. But shark movie, giant shark versus Jason Statham. How can it go wrong? And I know it's kind of weird for me to see them marketing it that way, like it's Jason Statham versus giant shark. Now we don't know until we actually watch the trailer. But the original book, including like Hell's Aquarium and all that, it was very much more scientific, much more of a thriller. Actually, in my, I don't know if I'm gonna do I'm gonna have to do a highly anticipated movie for the Meg, so spoiler there, that's one of them. But there's not much images. There was that first image of Jason Statham and there's this giant shark in the background, and now this image comes out and it's just the cast, and And this is okay. Let's go into this. This is the summary. This is the Warner Brothers official full synopsis for this film. It says a deep sea submersible, part of an international undersea observation program, has been attacked by a massive creature previously thought to be extinct, and now lies disabled at the bottom of the deepest trench in the Pacific, the Mariana Trench, with its crew trapped inside. With time running out, expert deep-sea rescue diver Jonas Taylor, played by Jason Statham, is recruited by a visionary Chinese oceanographer, Winston Chow, against the wishes of his daughter, Su Yin Li Bingbing, to save the crew and the ocean itself from this unstoppable threat. A prehistoric 75-foot long large shark known as the Megalodon. What no one could have imagined that years before. Taylor had encountered this same terrifying creature. Now teamed with Su Yin, he must confront his fears and risk his own life to save everyone trapped below, bringing him face to face once more with the greatest and largest predator of all time. Now this feels like it's a smaller movie than the first Meg book. And I know about that word twist, although they just told you in the synopsis that Jonas Taylor has seen this before. In the book, it's more chronological order, so you actually have him actually meet Megalodon in a little submersible before. But anyway, for people who don't want to know, sorry. But this is cool. This is so... I've been waiting for this movie for years. I mean, I have that book. I don't know where it is, but I have the book where it actually says based upon the motion picture. But that was like years ago. I want to say it's like 8 years ago or something that it had that, and it's been going through production hell, and so many things has happened to this movie, and so I'm finally happy to actually see this movie now. It's probably gonna be more campy and more thriller and more. That's fine. It's gonna be a blockbuster movie, more than the thought-provoking, the scientific views of it than from in the book, but I'm fine with that because a giant shark movie is all I want. Giant sharks, and there's an added plus of having Jason Statham be Jonas Taylor. Even though in the book I actually imagined Tom Cruise, but I'm fine with that. I'm very interested to see this. I can't wait to see the first trailer, the Meg. I'm telling you, I'm so excited to watch this movie, and it's so for the weirdest reasons. Even I'm a Jaws fan. I'm a shark fan. I like all the Jaws movies, even the worst one. So I'm the wrong person to tell you to be excited for this film, but I certainly am pretty stoked to see this movie come out this year. Alright guys, what did you guys think about the weekend box office in Star Wars Last Jedi, making only $1.2 billion? And also Mark Strong, he is Doctor Sivana and Shazam. And what do you think? Do you think this is their idea of all along, where Justice League was the big bang, and now they're making like origin films, and they're actually leading up better? They're trying to save everything. They didn't want to blow it all away into Justice League movie. They know what they're doing. Do they know what they're doing? I don't know if they know what they're doing. Are you excited for the Meg? The Meg, come on, man. Giant shark. 75-foot giant shark versus Jason Statham. Yeah, you think The Rock versus Jason Statham, that was something? This is this is even bigger. But anyway, alright guys, thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you had a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you next time.